Yes, hello my dear friends, welcome to your PDI and Engineers Career Point. So my dear friends, today I am going to discuss one of the important subject for with respect to if we talk about the BHEL exam. Basically I am going to discuss here the subject of strength of material, the question which was asked in the BHEL, which was that exam was conducted on the 23rd and 24th, right, 23rd and we can see 24th of August 2023, right. So in this we'll see the basically 9 or 10 question has been asked from the out of 120, 10 or 11 question has been asked from the strength of material. So I will see how we can solve that type of question, which type of question is going to ask, and after the end of the session you can be able to conclude that from the strength of material which type of question is going to ask in the BHEL exam, right. So my dear friends, let's start with that question. So that is the first question on your screen. The question is that a rod of steel 20 mm long, 20 meter long, at a temperature of 20 degrees Celsius, what will be the temperature stress produced when the temperature of the rod is raised to, not by, it is raised to, there are two things, raised by 70, raised to 20, that means it has been raised to 70 degrees Celsius, right. The rod is permitted to expand by 6 mm, coefficient of linear expansion, that means alpha is known, modulus of elasticity known, and that is the question which is clearly mentioned in here. Now my dear friends, if you talk about this question has been asked from the thermal stress, there are various cases in the thermal stress if you go through, out of which one case is, this is the case of thermal stress which partially constrained. There can be different things like it can be perfectly constrained, it can be free to expand, it can be constrained in 2 dimension, or sometimes body can be extended in the 3 dimension, right. So out of these three topic, that question has been asked from the partially expansion case. I used to say in the class, suppose this is the rod my dear friends and I am going to hit it, okay. So can anybody can tell me what is the case that one? So we can say that will be the free expansion, right. Suppose this is one of the object, right, and I am going to hit it, I am going to hit it. So what will be a stress here? We can say, sir, no stress will be developed. Why? Because it is free to expand. So as I am going to hit, it will expand, free to expand. So there is no any resistance force will develop. So there will be no any stress. So sir, can I say their stress will develop? Yes, my dear friends, I can check that either stress will generate or not. Suppose this gap here you have, let's assume this gap is A, okay. This A is given here 6 mm. Right. If I will ask what will be the change in length by the raising of temperature delta T, let's assume I will ask the change in length. So this is given by, if you have remember, L alpha delta T, or sometimes thermal strain we can say delta L upon L. This is known as thermal strain, and this is given by alpha into delta T, right. So if I want to change what is the change in length is observed, so we can say change in length is, sir, L alpha delta T. In the question we can say L is given how much, my dear friends? 20 L is given how much? Here we can say rod of steel 20 mm long. That means this is from there to there, it is 20 mm, 20 meter long. Okay. So can you tell me what will be the del L here? Change in length. So we can say, sir, change in length will be L is 20 meter right now. So 20. Let me convert in the mm form. So 20 into 10 to the power 3. Okay, and what is the alpha? So we can say, sir, that one. So this will be the 12 into 10 to the power minus 6. Okay, and what is the delta T? It is raised by initially temperature was 20. Initial temperature is what? It was 20, and after that you are going to hit to 70. You are going to hit it to 70. So it will be, you can say simply, sir, it will be 70 minus 20. And by solving that, I can say change in length is more than 6 mm. Change in length is more than 6 mm. So can you, anybody can tell me their stress will generate or not? Suppose that type of question is going to ask, if suppose if it is happening, if change in length less than 6 mm, if suppose if this condition is happening, then is there any stress will develop? No, my dear friends. In such case it will be the free expansion case, and that case there will be no any thermal stress will develop. But in this case, when you are going to calculate the change in length, it is coming more than the given gap. So here stress will develop. Now the question is that, sir, how I can calculate the stress which is going to be developed? So my dear friends, I used to prove in the class one formula very frequently. That formula you have to be used in the exam. Even that same question has been asked in the GATE 2018, 2019, 2012 on different exams. Same question has been asked. The thing is that sometimes the gap is 6 mm, sometimes it is 3 mm, sometimes 2 mm is there, right? But that question very frequently has been asked in GATE exam also. So here we can say, sir, here stress will develop. Why? Here stress, thermal stress will develop because this is the partial expansion and change in length more than the permitted gap. So thermal stress will develop here. Thermal stress will develop. Now the question is that, sir, how I can calculate that change in length or thermal stress which is going to be developed? So my dear friends, this thermal stress is given by, please try to keep in line, L alpha delta T minus A into E upon 4 length is what, my dear friends? L. This is given. That formula you have to be what? You have to be used here. So simply put that value, my dear friends. So thermal stress is coming out to be, L is given 20 mm, right? 20 meter. So 20 into 10 to the power 3 make in mm because A is given in mm, and delta you just have seen alpha is here. How much alpha is here? 20 into 10 to the power minus 6. So 20 into 10 to the power minus 6 minus of how many mm? 6 mm is there. So 6. And what is the Young's modulus of elasticity is given here? We can see, sir, E is given 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm squared. So this will be 2 into 10 to the power 5. 2 into 10 to the power 5 and upon what is the total length? So this is given 20 into 10 to the power 3. So my dear friends, simply we can do that. No need of any calculator. Yeah, little bit calculative is there, but without calculation we can solve that question. No any problem is there, my dear friends. So how you can do that? So simply we can say, sir, that value is coming out to be, if I am going to get the thermal stress, so 20 into 10 to the power 3. Can I write instead of 10 to the power 3? Can I write here, make it, remove that, and 12 into 10 to the power minus 3. Yes sir, I can do, sir. Minus 6, sir, right? Yes sir, I can do. Multiplied by 2 into 10 to the power 5 upon how much, sir? Sir, 20 into 10 to the power 3. Let's see, my dear friends. We can say, sir, 12 to the 24, right? 12 to the 24. So 240 into 10 to the power minus 3. So it will be 0. L alpha delta T is also there. So please multiply it by 50. Here delta T is also there, na? So multiplied by it by 50. Right? That here will be delta T will be 50. So by solving this, thermal stress is coming out to be 0.240 multiplied by 50 minus 6 into 2 into 10 to the power 5 upon, we can say, 220 into 10 to the power 3. So here we can say, my dear friends, 10 to the power 10 to the power will be gone out. It will be going to be out. So let's remove that one. How much it is coming out to be here? So simply we can say, sir, here 100 will come out to be, right? From 1 0 to another 0 will cancel out, and 2 to 2, so ultimate 10 is coming. So what is the thermal stress by solving this? Simply we can say, sir, 0.240 multiplied by 50 minus 6 into 10. Simple. And by solving this, my dear friends, we will get that value is coming, that value is coming out to be, by solving this, 60 Newton per mm square. So that is the thermal stress which is going to be generated here. That is the thermal stress which is going to be generated. So what will be the answer, my dear friends? What will be the answer? So simply we can say the answer is what? 60 Newton per mm square. That was the quite calculative, other than concept is not much more complex is there. Little bit concept is good, but yes, it is calculative. My dear friends, just for safety purpose, I want to tell two and three more things here, since that question has been asked. So might be possible in coming exam we can see the another case of the thermal stress. So for being safe, I want to discuss, suppose this is the case of free expansion, right? And I am going to hit here, I am going to hit at it, right? So what will be stress here? What will be thermal stress? It will be 0, because that is the free expansion. Now see, now I am going to discuss the second case. Second case is that this is one of our rod, and this is fixed in x direction. This is fixed in only x direction, and I am going to be raise their temperature. I am going to heat it by delta T. So what will be thermal stress in this case? Anybody? Simply we can say, sir, E alpha delta T. Okay. Now third case that I want to discuss here, the case number 3rd. Now this is one of the rod, my dear friends, which is fixed in the x direction, as well as it is fixed in the y direction also. Okay, any object you have, let's assume this is the object I have right now. So as I am going to hit it, it can expand in x direction, right? So if I am going to be fix it, so now in which direction stress is coming? Only one direction, x direction. Now we can say this is the object, so it can come either perpendicular to the board or can go up or down, whatever is possible. So if you are going to fix in the two direction, then what stress is going to be generated? Please try to remember. So in this we can say, by solving this I am get, and one another thing is that suppose that is the third case in which this is the body which is restricted from all the three direction, x, y, as well as is it restricted in the z direction also. Suppose this is restricted in the z direction also. So here it will be coming out to be stress E alpha delta T upon 1 minus mu, and here thermal stress is coming out to be E alpha delta T upon 1 minus 2 nu, right? So please try to remember that formula, because that question has been asked in your exam. Might be possible in upcoming they may ask any another case rather than that, right? One case has been just now we have solved, that two and different cases there that might be possible going to ask in your exam. So please try to remember. And how I can remember, sir? Simple formula is, my dear friends. In one direction E alpha delta T, when it is fixed in two dimension or dimension, we can say it will be E alpha delta T upon 1 minus mu. Here 1 minus mu. When you are going to fix it from all the three direction, here E alpha delta T is common for all. Here 1 minus 2 mu. It is fixed in two direction, here 1 mu is there. If it is fixed in three direction, here 2 mu is there. So that is the approach by which you can remember that formula for a longer time. No fixed E alpha delta T, only one direction. If two direction, E alpha delta T upon 1 minus mu, here 1 mu, nothing means 1 mu is there. If it will be fixed in the three dimension or three direction, we can say E alpha delta T upon 1 minus 3, 2, so here 1, so here 3, here it will be coming out to be 2, and it should be minus, don't be, because you know in this no stress in y and z direction, so stress is little bit less. Here stress in, no stress in the z direction perpendicular to board, no stress is there, but stress will be in x and y direction, so it will be higher than that. So here it should be minus, 1 minus, don't be confused about the plus. In option plus can be there, so you know that if it will be plus, so overall quantity will decreases, right? But you know in the two direction it should be more than that, stress in the two direction will be more than that of the single direction case, so it should be higher. That by that approach you could be able to remember that their minus should come, not plus, right? So yes, as I told you, our target not to be clear the concept. Yes, it is also our target to make the concept as simple as possible, so that you can deliver your best in the exam right now. So by this way, here minus, why? Because stress will be higher and higher and higher. In one direction, two direction is free, only one direction stress is coming. In two dimension, stress will be more than that of that, so here it is 1 minus. In three dimension, further stress will be more than that case, so 1 minus 2 mu is there. By this you can remember that one. Okay my dear friends, now coming to the next question. So this is the next question, my dear friends. Which of the following is correct, right? So the maximum amount of energy which can be stored in a body up to elastic limit is known as proof resilience. Okay, the amount of energy of a material can absorb before actual fracture takes place is called creep. No. The capacity of material to absorb energy within the elastic limit is known as toughness. Okay, the option D is the slow and progressive deformation of a material with time at a constant rest is called fatigue. So my dear friends, what is the right answer? So come with all the option. The maximum, that is the keyword, the maximum amount of energy, which is stored in a body up to elastic limit, that is known as proof resilience. Yes my dear friends, that is right. And what is resilience? Resilience is energy stored up to the elastic limit or before the elastic limit, it's called resilience. If you talk about proof resilience, so that is the maximum energy that can be stored up to the elastic limit, that is known as proof resilience. So option A is right. Now what is option B? The amount of energy material absorbed before fracture takes place is called creep. No my dear friends, actually that is called toughness, right now. This is called what, my dear friends? Toughness. So amount of energy material can absorb before actual fracture, this is called toughness, not a creep. So what is creep, sir? Because they have talked about the creep, might be possible in coming exam they will talk about the creep. So what is creep? So we can say this is a slow and progressive deformation of a body at a constant load, at a given constant load, at a some elevated temperature, right? This is called is what? Creep. Even you know in the class I used to give the example, suppose this is a fan having same temperature, but after a 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, 7 year, you will find there is a little bit extension is there, because that phenomena is known as creep. So creep is a constant load phenomena, but over a certain period of time at a given some elevated temperature, that is called creep. So that is the wrong answer. Now the material absorb energy within the elastic limit known as toughness. No, my dear friends, this is known as resilience, not toughness. So that's why this option is also wrong. If you come on to the option D, the slow and progressive deformation of a material with a time at a constant stress. So this is not called fatigue. Actually, that is the creep. Actually, that is the creep. So I have discussed all the 4 options, and since that question has been asked 2023, might be possible same type of question, something related to that can be expected in your upcoming exam. So that was the second question. Now come to the next question, my dear friends. That is the another question, that is also a good question, my dear friends. In fact, we can say the question is that a piece of material is subjected to 2 perpendicular tensile stress. Sigma x is given, sigma y is given. What will be the inclination theta of the plane on which resultant stress has maximum obliquity with the normal? So my dear friends, that question has been asked obviously from the complex stress. If you want to be more precise, so in complex stress strain you have gone through the Mohr circle also. So that is the question has been taken from that particular section. In this, my dear friends, just I want to tell you in the question, you know, suppose that is one of the any object, right? This is one of the any object. You are going to apply like that. This is the sigma x, this is the sigma y, right? If you are going to take any plane, any oblique plane, let's assume this is one of my any oblique plane is there. Let's assume this is any oblique plane which is making at angle some angle, let's assume theta. Okay, so you know what will be the normal stress and shear stress on that plane. So we can say, sir, this is the normal stress and this will be the something on the shear stress on that plane, right, on that plane. And obviously there will be some resultant which will make, so what, there will be some resultant of sigma and tau. So that resultant will be something like that, right? Now this will be something like that. So in the question has been asked what will be the inclination of the plane, so that plane inclination, that angle theta, when on which the resultant stress R has maximum oblicity, at that condition, what will be that angle, this question has been asked, my dear friends. So simply we can say in such case, what we can say simply, my dear friends, in that case simply we can say, sir, tan theta is given, tan theta when phi is equal to max, is given by tan theta is equal to simply under root sigma y, here how much it is given, sigma x upon sigma y. Please try to remember that one. In the class I used to prove that, equation, so please try to remember that one. So from there we can say, sir, I will get the phi is equal to what, tan inverse root under of sigma x upon sigma y. So put that value simply, my dear friends. So phi is coming out to be tan inverse, what is root under, so what is sigma y, 100 upon 60, and you know 25 ja 100 and 23 ja 60, right? Now so phi is equal to tan inverse root under of 5 upon 3. So what answer you are going to get? D for Delhi is the right answer. And in the class, my dear friends, I used to prove that equation. Right now note I am going to discuss the whole the complex stress. It will talk 2.5 hours to discuss the complex stresses. So please right now try to remember this condition when phi is max. In such condition tan phi will be given by like that. Okay, so that was the also easy question, not much more complicated, but yes, conceptual question was there. So my dear friends, that is the next question. This is the good question, and that question has been taken from the one topic, simple stress strain, we can say. The question is that a prismatic bar is there. So here simply a prismatic bar. What do you mean by prismatic, my dear friends? Prismatic means having same cross section throughout. Anywhere you are going to see the prismatic bar, no? So prismatic bars means simply having cross section same throughout. Like this is prismatic or no? Yes sir, they have same cross section area throughout, so it will be prismatic. It is prismatic? Yes, it is prismatic because cross section area is same. Is it prismatic? Is it prismatic? No sir. Is it not prismatic? Because cross section area is not same throughout the length. So prismatic means having same cross section throughout. Circular cross section area is given 700 mm square, length is given 3 mm, is loaded by a tensile force of 70 kN as shown. A load is 70 kN is applied on that. What will be the change in volume of the bar? You have to calculate what will be change in volume of the bar. That question you have to be calculate. And the Poisson ratio is given here. Nu is given 1/3, and Young's modulus of elasticity E is given 70 gigapascal. And you have to calculate what will be change in volume. What will be change in volume? So that thing you have to be answered, my dear friends. So come to the equation. In the classroom I used to always say that, my dear friends, this is the one of the important relation that you have to be keep in mind. Volumetric strain, change in volume upon original volume, this is given by sigma x plus sigma y plus sigma z into 1 minus 2 nu upon E. How this is coming, my dear friends, I used to prove in the classroom. Please try to remember right now. This is the volumetric strain, sigma x plus sigma y plus sigma z into 1 minus 2 mu upon 1. This is called what? Volumetric strain. And sir, in this question I have to calculate change in the volume. So can I say sigma x plus sigma y plus sigma z into 1 minus 2 mu into V upon E, and that will be our answer. Sir, in the question it's very clearly, sir, only one dimension, only one load is acting. So this is, let's assume Fx, this is only one load is acting now. So let's assume this is Fx, Fy, whatever you want to say. Suppose this is Fy, so simply we can say, sir, this is given 70 kilonewton. If I have to get the stress, so what will be sigma y, my dear friends? Simply we can say, sir, force upon area. So 70 into 10 to the power 3. What area is given in the question? So we can say the area is given 700 mm square. How much area is given? 700 mm square. So simply we can say, sir, upon 700. I am going to leave the option in mm only because ultimate I have to get the answer in mm, right? So I am going to convert all the things in the mm form. So from there we can say, sir, what will be the volumetric strain or what will be the change in volume? So sigma x is 0, sigma y simply I can say 70 into 10 to the power 3 kilonewton upon 700. Okay, then to 1 minus 2 mu is to 1/3. What will be volume? Volume is area into length, na? What will be volume of that one? So sir, I can say the volume is this this cross sectional area into that length. This will be volume of that rod now. That will be volume. So what will be volume? Sir, I can say area into length. So what area is given? 700 into length. 3 meter length is given, right? How much meter we can say? 3 meter, right? So convert in the mm because ultimate you have to get in the mm form. So convert in mm. So simply we can say, sir, it is coming out to be 300 mm now. 3 into 1000, right? Okay. Upon E. What is E? Just now you have seen what is the Young's modulus of elasticity. What is the Young's modulus of elasticity? Sir, 7 gigapascal, right? 70 gigapascal, not 7, 70 gigapascal is there. Giga means 10 to the power 9. So 70 giga is na, sir, 70 giga. So I am going to write 70 into 10 to the power 3 only. Now student start confusing, sir, it is giga na, it should be 9 na, sir. Yes my dear friend, it should be 9, but since you know I am going to convert in the mm, right? So megapascal should be there in mm per Newton per mm square. That's why I am taking here only 3, not 9. Clear now? So from there we can say, sir, that 700 to 700 will be cancelled out. That 700 to 700 will be cancelled out. And sir, that 70 that will be cancelled out. So sir, dV will be 1 minus 2/3 into, sir, how much it is coming out to be, sir? 3000, right now, sir? Yes sir, 3000. Answer simply I can say 3 either that one, so 3 minus 2 upon 3 into 3000. Yes sir. So sir 1000 simply I am going to get 1000 mm square by solving that. So that is the volume. So it is coming out to be positive now my dear friends. So it is increasing or decreasing? It is increases or decreases? So we can say sir 100 mm 1000 mm square area is volume. This is not the area, this is volume is there right now. Change in volume, so this is going to be increased by 1000 mm3. So what should be answer my dear friends? The correct answer will be C for Chennai is the right answer. So what will be correct answer? C for Chennai is the right answer. So you have to be go through that, and yes, question is not a difficult, little bit calculative, but not a difficult. That all are the basic things you must have to be known. Now that is the next question my dear friends. If a column is fixed from both the end, okay, you have one column which is fixed from both the end. Let's assume this is fixed from both the end. The relation between the equivalent length LE and actual length L as per the Euler formula. My dear friends, one chapter is there, column, right? In the column I am going to discuss about the Euler formula, and there are four cases. In that case I am going to calculate the effective length, we can say. Out of these four cases, one case is that if it is fixed from both the end, in such case equivalent is given by, sometimes I am going to use to prove that L upon 2. Please try to remember that equation. I am not going to prove here. Four cases there. Out of that four case, one case is there when it is fixed from both the end. In such case effective is coming out to be L upon 2. So B for Bombay is the right answer. Good. Now come to the next question. The question is that the slope of stress-strain curve in the elastic region is called yield strength, Poisson ratio, percentage elongation, modulus of elasticity. So slope of stress-strain curve in elastic region, you know. So my dear friends, if you have gone through, so from the Hooke's law, you know, stress is proportional to strain within proportional limit, but in the case of mild steel we can say up to the elastic, because in the mild steel the gap between the proportional and elastic point is very less, so it can be negligible, right? But actually Hooke's law is applicable only for the proportional limit, not to the elastic. But since in the mild steel gap is very less, so I can say it is, I can assume it as a linear, no problem is there. So stress is proportional to strain, yes sir. So from there in elastic limit we can say a proportional limit. So can I say from there, if I remove the proportionality I have to put some constant, so E into epsilon my dear friends. Okay, so now, and you can say this is a linear relation, so that is the linear relation. Okay, now going to compare with you, this equal to y equal to mx. So if you are going to calculate that one, so you know this is the y and this is the x-axis. So if you are going to make any line, so what will be their slope? Slope will be m na. Slope is basically inclination with x-axis, we can say, that is called slope. So what is slope here? So m is slope here, right? So if you are going to compare that T1, there is a stress and there is a strain. So if you are going to compare these two, we can say, sir, instead of y, stress is there, right? Instead of x, strain is there, right? So instead of, I can say slope, what? Young's modulus of elasticity is there. So what can be answer my dear friends? D for Delhi is the right answer. Modulus of elasticity is the right answer. So that question is various times is going to be asked, right? So sometimes that question is also going to ask. Suppose in that is the right. Sometimes you can observe that 3 diagram is going to be. Let's assume that is A, B, C, and they are going to ask which one having more Young's modulus of elasticity. So having higher slope, we will have more E. So we can say here Young's modulus in case of C is more than Young's modulus in case of B is more than Young's modulus in case of A, because they have C have more slope, right? So be prepared, that type question is also going to be asked. Right now the correct answer is D for Delhi. Okay, now come to that question again. That question has been asked from the stress-strain curve. That is the first chapter that I used to discuss in the SOM. The 5.1, 2, 3, 4, even that question also I am going to discuss in the material science, right? In the material science also a little bit I am going to discuss about that. So stress and diagram for ductile material is shown in the figure and that at different point. So you have 2 point. Point 1 is lower yield point. No, my dear friends, that is wrong. Point 1 is elastic point. That is not a lower yield point. 2 is called upper yield point. 3 is called lower yield point. Right. So option A can't be. Point 2 is lower yield point. No, point 2 is upper yield point. Point 2 is upper yield point. So that is wrong. Point 4 is ultimate stress. Yes, my dear friends. Point 4, that is the point known as ultimate stress. So I can say C for Chennai is the right answer. Point 3 is upper yield point. No, 3 is lower yield point. So that was a very easy question. If you have gone through the stress strain curve, easily you could be able to solve that type of question. So correct answer is what? C for Chennai. And 5 is called the fracture point. And yes, anybody can tell me, is it true stress strain curve or engineering stress strain? You can make a comment. That is true stress strain curve or engineering stress strain curve. Please make comment. Okay. So here the correct answer is what, my dear friends? C for Chennai. That is 4. Yes, my dear friends. Again, that you can see that 2 question has been asked from the you can say complex stress strain diagram. Complex stress the chapter is there. One chapter is there, complex stress strain analysis, or we can say the principal stress strain chapter. That from that question has been asked. So one question earlier you have seen, that is another question which has been asked from that one. Right. The question is that figure shows the stress acting on element ABCD. What will be the normal stress on the plane BE? So is it not clearly see here? B, which are inclined at angle how much degree? 45 degree. I think that is the B and E plane to the plane BC. Okay, and that is not totally clear. So my dear friends, please try to remember that equation. And in the class I used to say always that please sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus of sigma x minus sigma y by 2 what? Cos 2 theta, cos of 2 theta plus of tau xy sin 2 theta. That question has been asked in GATE civil engineering in 2018. Same question, 2018 or 19 was there. Same question has been asked in GATE civil engineering, and that same question with same data appeared in your exam BHEL, which was conducted on the 2023 in the month of August. Same question, no any change in data is there. So here we can say, sir angle is 45 na sir. Here angle is how much, sir? This is 45. Right now this is 45, that will be 90. So that will be again 45. And yes, my dear friends, please try to remember that equation is applicable when angle is made with the vertical axis. Okay, normal axis. Suppose in the question if any other angle will be given, so please be clear that angle must be made from the vertical axis, then you are going to apply that equation. Okay sir, so can I say normal stress will be sigma x is given in the question? Yes sir. How much it is given, sir? So 150 na yaar, 150 na. Yes, so this is 150 is there. 100 plus 50 upon 2 plus 100 minus 50 upon 2. But my dear friends, cos 2 theta, here angle is given 45 degree. So cos 2 theta is cos 90. So cos 90 will be equal to 0 na. So we can say, sir, cos 90 and ultimate all that quantity becomes 0, because you know cos 90 is 0. Plus tau xy, tau is given in the question how much? 30 I think given. Tau is given how much? 30. So 30 sin 2 theta. 2 theta means 90. Sin 90 is 1. So simply we can say, sir, that coming out to be 100 plus 50, 150 upon 275 plus of 30, that is coming out to be 0. 30 sin 90 means 30. So I am getting the answer 105. How much I am going to get the answer? The answer is coming out to be 105. Right. 105 Newton per mm square. That was the easy question, and you could be able to solve all that type of different question. So my dear friends, that all about the BHEL strength of material question. So next session I will meet with some another question subject, right? So, and yes, our batch is running out for the BHEL and different exams. You can join with us, and usually I used to say that, my dear friends, if you are mechanical engineers, then yes, you have lot of opportunity in PSUs. Suppose you have not given your base due to some reason in GATE exam, so no problem. You have lot of different PSUs which are going to take their separate exam. So you have a golden opportunity. go through that, prepare for that one. And one basic common differences is there in all that exam. Not much difficult numericals is going to ask like a gate. Easy question, easy numericals, easy concept is going to be asked, so it will be good to you. So start your preparation for different PSUs, and you have opportunity, better opportunity. Try to utilize that. Very recently we will see in the one of the notification will be going to be notified by the ISRO, and many others is waiting for you. So start your preparation, and yes, good luck. We'll meet in the next session with some another subject. Thank you.